Oh, I see. Today, we're learning how to do this look right here. It's good for every day. It's good for prom. It's especially good on your wedding day. First, you take your cotton round and you have to measure it up a little bit because sometimes people have smaller eyes than you. Just trim it up so it seems about right. Next, you'll take your liquid latex and then put it above the eyebrow, not on the eyebrow, because you wanna keep the eyebrows. Rip them off. Just wax myself. And that's it. So I just covered a nice little layer. Go ahead and then let it sit and harden up a little bit. It should be, you know, sticking on there just fine. Next, you'll take a cotton ball here and then go ahead and just rip it apart a little bit and then outline your little circle with a little bit of latex. Oh, I can't see. And then go ahead and just outline the whole thing and make a little perimeter of cotton balls. So once you've done the outline with cotton balls, you will go ahead and just put another thin layer of liquid latex on the inside. Try not to get any on the cotton balls, but on the cotton rounds. Just because we want to make it kind of look like the eyes sunken in a little bit, so we want to keep that like raised perimeter around just to give it a little more depth. Once you got that, you'll go ahead and take a square of toilet paper, and if you have the 2-ply, make it a 1-ply. And then go ahead and just do little shreds. Give it a little more layers. So next, you'll take your fake blood and a little paintbrush here and go ahead and just kind of go around a little bit. Be careful because the toilet paper, because it's 1-ply, is going to be a little bit weaker, so carefully just kind of pat it around. And go ahead and add another layer of latex and cotton. You can go ahead and just add it when the blood is still wet a little bit. I found that the cotton balls add, when you put blood on it, gets a little, adds a little bit darker color to the blood, so the blood gets a little darker and it looks a little more realistic. Because the toilet paper is so fragile because it's that 1-ply, take your time with it, because if it rips, then you're ripping another piece of toilet paper. So go ahead and take your time with this process here, just because it is a very fragile, delicate step. Alright, so next, dip into the liquid latex and do one more little layer of latex. Alright, and once it's still a little bit tacky, you're going to go ahead and take some of your coffee grounds and go ahead and just pat them in a little bit. It doesn't matter what brand of coffee. Folgers. And then go ahead and, this is the messy part here, but go ahead and just pat it in a little bit. This is going to give it a more darker, deeper color and deeper look. Alright, so once you put a little bit of ground coffee in there, let it sit for a little bit just so everything kind of gets tacky and starts setting in there. Go ahead and take your blood again and then start going around the perimeter here. This step's going to take a little bit just because it is a little more sensitive and a little more fragile. When you're putting the blood on, go ahead and push it away from the inside. So start heading out a little bit. That's going to spread it out a little bit more and then make it look a little more, it's going to make it look a little more like it's supposed to. Once you've gone around the perimeter, go ahead and start to fill in the inside, but slowly dab it so you're not spreading it around so you can get that thicker blood look. Once it starts to get a little pink, go ahead and give it another layer, just because ain't nobody's blood pink. Once it's set for a little bit and starts to get a little tough there, go ahead and take, you can use a toothpick. I have a gum scraper. I got this bad boy off of Amazon. I'm going to use this end here, the little curved part, and then you'll slowly just kind of pull some of it up a little bit. This is going to give a little more realistic and 3D effect. Alright, so go ahead and just poke and prod at it a little bit. And then always, if you poke and prod too much, you can always just put a little more liquid latex on and seal it back down. I'm going to add a little more cotton balls here just to deepen it up a little bit more. Squeaky chair is cool. Alright, once you think you've got it as deep and as dark and as realistic as you think you want it, go ahead and cover up the cotton one more time. Try to get as much blood as possible on there, just because when you lose your eye, you're going to bleed a lot. Next, I'm going to grab my Ben Nye fresh scab blood. Now, on my nifty little Amazon tool, I'm going to use the pokey side, the dangerous side. Put some strawberry jam on it. And because the scab blood's a pretty expensive little gadget, if you ever want to make a little bit of a thicker blood, if you melt down Vaseline a little bit and mix it into the fake blood, you'll get some chunkier blood there. And then once again, if you start to have some edges popping up a little bit, go ahead and just hit it with a little liquid latex. Pop that sucker down. That's the cool thing about these special effects, is there's no right or wrong way to do it, and you're free to just put as much blood and as much gore as you want on it. We're pretty saturated with blood now, so we're gonna go ahead and let this dry for a second. Go ahead for the final round, take your blood. You start to you can tell when the fake blood's drying because it starts to get a little bit of a darker color, and you can obviously feel it on your eye there. Do one little final hurrah of the fake blood here, and then go ahead and fill in any little spots, or any little pink spots, or any little cotton still sticking out. Finally, go ahead and just take a little bit more of your scab blood and just pat it around the area, kind of make it a little swollen, a little bruised, because we've got our eye gouged out. And then finally, once it's all dry, go ahead and just take your little tool. Anything sharp will work. Be careful of your actual eye, because this is just for fun. And then go ahead and just pull some of those cotton balls up a little bit. And that's how you do it.